Heather from Hooked on Pickin here. Do you want to get the most bang for your buck? Learn my tips on haggling right here. Hey, Heather from Hooked on Pickin here. I'm going to discuss haggling and how you get the best price for the item that you're going to buy, okay? So you want to earn the difference between $80 as opposed to $8, and some of these tips is going to dramatically help, okay? So I'm going to give you my top tips on haggling and how they work for me and where the benefits have come from, okay? So number one, don't be intimidating. Or you can be intimidating. Don't be intimidated. It's your money. It belongs to you. You get to keep it if you so choose, or you can spend it at their booth. But you don't have to spend it at their booth on their item. There'll be many more items down the road that you can purchase. The best places that I haggle from are usually, I have haggled at flea markets, garage sales. You can even haggle at some thrift stores. And believe it or not, I have actually haggled at Walmart. So I remember the instance with Walmart. A lot of people think you can't haggle at a big box store, but when it comes to their clearance section, they want it gone, and they want it gone fast because it's taking up valuable shelf space. So I talked to the department manager in a clearance aisle, and they were like, oh, I don't think that I can do that. And so we asked to see the general manager of the store, and sure enough, he took $1 off if I bought a whole set of items, and I think we ended up saving about 30 bucks that day. So you can actually haggle at big box stores, but usually when you think of haggling, you think flea markets, you think garage sales, places like that. So number one, don't be intimidated by the person selling. It's your money. You get to spend it the way you want, okay? Number two, give sellers a reason to negotiate. If you indicate to them, oh, I really think you're a good seller, I'm going to come back to you next time I'm at the flea market. Like if it's a reoccurring flea market that happens once a month, let them know, you know what, I'm going to come back and check you out next time I'm here. Give them a reason to negotiate with you so that they have a reoccurring customer because they want to sell their stuff. Okay, so that's number two. Number one, don't be intimidated. Number two, give sellers a reason to negotiate. Number three, be willing to walk away. Like I said, it's your money. You can not spend it in their booth. And so, but don't threaten to walk away and then never walk away, because they'll see right through that. If they're a flea market seller or a garage sale seller, they have negotiated before. And so they will know whether or not you're just bluffing. So be willing to walk away and actually do it. I had an instance actually where I was at a flea market. I wanted to pay $7 for something, or she wanted me to pay $7. I wanted to pay $5. And I said, no, I really don't want to pay that. And I walked away, and she came after me. She chased me about 5 tables away and said $5 will work for me. So I walked away and got the price that I wanted. Okay. So be willing to walk away. That was number three. See if they're anxious to sell. If you're there at 11 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon at a garage sale, they're about ready to close. They don't want to put it all away and offer, hey, I'll give you $5 for this whole table. You know, see if they're anxious to sell. Flea markets, if it's the last day of the flea market, the last couple hours of the flea market, you can usually get a lower price simply because they're anxious to sell, and somebody may have overlooked a couple of particular items. So see if they're anxious to sell, like particularly if it's the last amount of time that they're going to be open. So that was number four, see if they're anxious to sell. Number five, decide on a fair price before you come up and talk to them. So you need to have already looked it up on your eBay app, looked it up on your Amazon app, know exactly what you would like to pay for it, and don't be unreasonable, okay? If it's something that you're gonna make 30 bucks on, be willing to pay maybe 10 bucks for it. Don't say, I'll only buy it for $1. Be reasonable. They have to make money too. Okay. Don't insult them with your price, but also be aware that you need to purchase it for a price that you can make money. So if you can't make money on it with the price that they shoot you, that's okay. Just set it down and walk away. So decide on a fair price before you even walk up to the person, because then it'll help you to stick to your guns. And then also make sure that with that fair price, you have a little bit of wiggle room if they decide to do the back and forth negotiate. Okay. So if you come in at $10 less than you want to spend, make sure that you can wiggle up, $5 or $6 into a good feasible spending amount. All right, so that was number 5, decide on a fair price. Number 6, stay quiet. Sometimes if you don't say anything, if they shoot you a price, like I had a guy that I was like, what would you take for these 3 items? And I was ready to tell him a price for about $50 for 3 particular items. But I paused for a little bit because I asked the question, what would you take for these items? And I didn't say anything. And I didn't give him a number. And he said 45, which was less than what I was going to even offer. And so let them go ahead and have those awkward pauses. If they shoot back a number and you look a little bit uncomfortable with that number, I've even had people drop it a couple dollars simply because I looked a little bit uncomfortable with the high number that they set. So sometimes they will even negotiate with themselves. And so stay quiet. Go ahead and let those awkward pauses happen because sometimes it's to your benefit. So that was number 6. Stay quiet and let them negotiate with themselves. Number 7, make sure you find flaws. If there is something wrong with an item, don't talk about it like it's in pristine condition. Now, don't be ridiculous about it and point out every little scuff and nick and cranny. I mean, that's broken on it. But, you know, be reasonable. If the packaging is open, say the packaging is open. This is not brand new. You're giving me brand new prices, but it's really not brand new because the packaging is open. So find some flaws to help lower the price a little bit. And so that was number 7. Number 8. This is my last one that I'm going to give you. Seek a discount for cash. Anytime you're haggling, have cash in your pocket, okay? And have it separated into specific increments, okay? If you say, oh, I really only want to spend $5, and then you whip out a 20, they know you had the money to spend 20. And so don't be, make sure you have a pocket that has lower increment dollar bills, like the 5s and the 1s, and then a pocket that maybe has the 20s if you buy something for $50 or $60 or $70. So I always try to pull out the lower increment dollar amounts just so that I have the cash right in front of them, because cash usually is much more enticing than if you look at them and go, do you have a way that I can charge it? You know, because charging it, they'll automatically raise the price, or even if you're writing a check, they'll automatically raise the price because they don't know what your limit is. But cash, they can visibly see you only have a certain amount of cash, okay? And so a lot of times I will let my husband carry a lot of cash, and then when I need something, I go up to him and get the exact amount that I want to spend, you know, give or take $5 or $10 depending on where the negotiation goes. And so I usually make sure that I carry cash always. So my top 8 tips, it happens to be, for haggling are: number 1, don't be intimidated by the person. Number 2, give sellers a reason to negotiate, like you're going to come back. Number 3, be willing to walk away. Don't threaten them with it. Actually do it and commit to it. Don't come back later. Number 4, see if they're anxious to sell anything at the end of the sale weekend or the end of the sale day. Number 5, make sure before you walk up to them, you decide on a fair price with some wiggle room if you decide to negotiate. Number 6, stay quiet. Let them negotiate with themselves sometimes. Get those awkward pauses in there. Number 7, find flaws, if anything, with the actual product. And number 8, seek a discount because you've got cash in your hand. And with these tips, it should help you make this instead of this. I hope this has been super helpful and that you learned something from it and put those things to use, and let me know if they work, all right? And remember, in the end, Jesus wins. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. If you'd like to watch more of my videos, just click on them here. And if you'd like to learn more about the reseller world, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Thanks.